It's a pleasure having you here on Joy News Prime this evening. Now, there are fresh damning allegations by the special prosecutor against former Sanitation Minister Cecilia Dapaah as the OSP goes on the offensive in the latest attempt to confirm the seizure of suspected tainted properties belonging to Cecilia Dapaah. You may recall the OSP seized millions of cash from the former minister and ordered the freezing of some bank accounts which had transactions of over 40 million cedis in total. An Accra High Court refused to confirm the seizures and freezing order and directed the OSP to return the amount to Cecilia Dapaah. Now, the special prosecutor complied, but is back in court seeking to get the seizure confirmed. Now, exclusive copies of documents filed in court by the OSP reveal the former minister allegedly has millions of cedis, which the OSP says she could not prove the source, including fresh allegations that an account belonging to the dead brother of the former minister was still sending money to Cecilia Dapaah's account. Now, I have been joined by my colleague Elton Brobe of our political desk for more on this particular development. Now, Elton, tell us, according to the document, there are several revelations. Could you please share with us the details of recent transactions that occurred in the former minister's account, according to the OSP?
Right. So, Carlos, what we know already, remember that some time back, the OSP undertook some searches in the home of Madam Cecilia Dapaah, the former Minister for Water and Sanitation, in separate places, cantonments, Abelempe, and of course, Tesano. Now, it came to light that the OSP discovered some money. And then in furtherance, the OSP took steps to seize the amount of money and also froze the accounts of Madam Cecilia Dapaah, multiple bank accounts in two different banks.
Okay.
And then the matter was taken to courts, and then the outcome, just like you alluded to. Now, the OSP took another step, and what we are learning this evening is, of course, the new information that is coming through. Now, the OSP says that criminal intelligence suggested that the first respondent in this case is the Minister of Sanitation, Madam Cecilia Dapaah, former, was engaged in undisclosed and undeclared real estate business in which she obscured and concealed the transactions by employing the use of aliases to avoid detection of the said amount, now of the actual ownership of the business and properties, whilst cleverly receiving the proceeds of the transaction in their bank accounts and investment. Now, it goes on to give an example.
Okay.
The OSP says that, for example, the first respondent, Cecilia Dapaah, sold a Snett Boteman estate flat number BTOD BK4 under the name of Nana Ode. Indeed, the OSP says that the first respondent appended her signature on all relevant correspondence with the buyer under the name of Nana Ode. Concerning the payment, first respondent, through her agent, gave the buyer her bank account. It was only at the point of payment at the bank that the agent of the first respondent revealed to the buyer that the true identity of Nana Ode was in fact the first respondent, Madam Cecilia Dapaah, onto whose account payment of purchase price of the 117,000 was to be made and effected. And the OSP attaches exhibit to back this claim regarding the first respondent, Nana Ode, to the courts, and the expectation is that the court will consider all of these, new revelations that have been put forth by the OSP in granting the confirmation to further hold on to the bank accounts and the seized money.
All right. So, what did the OSP find also regarding monies in Cecilia Dapaah's residence, for instance?
So, in the paragraph provided by the OSP, it says that there was a deposit of they retrieved some $800,000 from the home of Madam Cecilia Dapaah. Now, Madam Cecilia Dapaah, in her statement to the OSP, says that the money belonged to her deceased brother. Now, what is instructive is that there is an account in the name of this deceased brother, and according to OSP, between late 2022 and then around March of 2023, there were some transactions from the deceased brother's account to Madam Cecilia Dapaah's bank accounts. And this is the second transfer happened at the time the brother was dead. Now, the OSP's analysis conducted on the first respondent bank accounts reviewed the following payment transactions into the account, which are unsupported by the first respondent disclosed lawful income. There is a deposit of 130,000 US dollars by the first respondent on the 22nd of November 2016, a transfer of an amount of 100,000 US dollars by Madam Cecilia Dapaah on 29 June 2023. A copy of the statement on the said account has also been attached. Analysis of the first respondent bank account reviewed the following transactions unsupported by first respondent disclosed lawful income. There is 75,000 Ghana cedis, there's 54,000 Ghana cedis, and there is some 350,000 Ghana cedis. And within a period of 5 months, precisely from the 16th of August 2022 to January 2023, there's been 300,000, 350, and 650,000 Ghana cedis into separate accounts belonging to Madam Cecilia Dapaah. And then on the basis of the foregoing, the special prosecutor is asking the court to confirm the seizure of the suspected tainted currency and the freezing order in pursuant of Section 32 of the Act establishing the Office of the Special Prosecutor. We are told that this motion will be moved on the 18th of October 2023.
All right. Thank you so much, Elton, for speaking to us here, giving us all those details. Now, we'll move on to Martin Pebo. He's a legal practitioner, and he joins via Zoom with the legalities of all of these on this particular Cecilia Dapaah issue. Now, based on the document, the OSP has actually provided fresh evidence detailing what they have really been looking at. I want to know, how do these new details impact the case in court?
Yeah, Carlos, so they make the case extremely strong. Yes, extremely strong, because you remember the first time OSP went, there weren't that much documentation. And, there were times that the judge had to make some comments that he didn't find any investigations made by the OSP. So now documents have been attached. They are answering the queries that the judge raised. So the documents are very, very important. Very important. Like we say, a picture is worth 1,000 words. So in the first application, the OSP will say, I'm investigating, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. The judge said he hadn't seen. So now that the documents have been attached, the bank statements, the caution statements of the Madame Dapaah, she has several statements. The husband statements, the niece, all those other things, they come together to make the case extremely strong. So that's the right thing to do.
So the defense counsel for Cecilia Dapaah, for instance, what should they be thinking doing if they still want to go ahead and argue their case out?
Hey, Carlos, that's interesting. Wow. I mean, because of my bias that I want this case done, we want to win as a public. I mean, that's the state of Ghana. We want to protect the public purse. I haven't thought seriously how she can scale this hurdle. It's extremely tight. It's extremely tight. Really, because you see, it's one thing. The law says that, look, if we find money with you and you cannot explain the source, that's if the money is not your income, inheritance, loan, or a gift, then it's unexplained wealth. That's Article 286 Clause 4, right? Then you come to the OSP law. You see the currency seizure notes. The application says they've served there. She should explain. And through application, they are saying that she can't explain the source of the money. So this one really, the best thing usually lawyers do. Now I see I can give you one of the secrets.
All right.
First that we do is that you attempt to delay the trial. So when you go, you ask for adjournment, an adjournment, an adjournment. Yeah, so that like you postpone the doomsday. That's the best. But this one, there are too many accusations to scale it.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Counsel. We really appreciate your time.